Conversations with Selwyn.
Hey everyone, and welcome to today's session of Conversations with Selwyn. I'm here with some special guests, Wayne and Deon. They are the pastors of Why Not Me, Why Not Now Ministries.
Yeah.
And we're on site at their location. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having us, and thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah, we just got done with an awesome service.
Woo.
The Spirit of God came in from the beginning of service as Deon led worship and just flowed right through. And I really love what God is doing at this ministry. So Wayne and Deon, just tell us a little bit about yourselves and also how you got here in ministry.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here. But we've grown up in a church, in a traditional church, and we were always involved in ministry. Singing in the choir. I've been a youth pastor, Sunday school teacher, deacon, several serving in different areas, man. But we reached a point where we felt like a kind of a ceiling.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a place where we felt like we were like hitting our heads. And God wanted more.
Yeah.
God wanted more from us.
Yeah.
You know, and we became uncomfortable. You know, we were uncomfortable, and we were fighting, as you talked about wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And we're messing with the wrestling, and we came to the realization that the discomfort was God shaking us to say, listen, you guys got to get out this comfort zone, this nest, this place where you're just comfortable.
Yeah.
And we recognized that through our lives that people were having issues with the church institution.
Okay.
You know, we recognize that people have no problem with God. When you talk to people, they love God.
Yeah.
You know, I love God, but the church thing now is a little bit, and so we said we need to launch a ministry that addresses that issue. And so we're very intentional with who we're targeting. Unchurched people, by definition. Unchurched folks are people who go to church like once every 3 months, you know, for whatever reason.
Yes.
You know, they may go Easter, Christmas, Mother's Day, you know, and so church is not a regular thing in their lives.
Right.
And so we wanted to target that population.
Okay.
You know, and so we began a few years ago.
In the school
building. In the school building. We're still in a school now. But where we began and where we are now is not what we saw.
Okay.
You know, we certainly didn't see it, man. And so we just stepped out on faith, and it's so funny because I've been preaching for years, since I was like 18 years old. And the faith thing. You know, living by faith and preaching by faith. And it wasn't until we were in this space that I realized I was really preaching from the intellect. Preaching from what I read, not from what I was living.
Okay.
And these past 3 years, we've been living by faith. Living by faith. And I'm so grateful to God for an amazing partner.
Yes.
You know, Deon, she's the brains in the operation. You know, I look better than her though, so it's kind of I'm just kidding. But
Wayne is a comedian.
I can tell.
But yeah, God's been interested, man. So as we continue to walk, it's we're going places where we never envisioned. You know, and God just keeps opening doors. Like where we are now with this ministry, with our mentorship arm, with the basketball ministry, you had a chance to take a look at that. That wasn't our plan.
Wow.
No, it was not planned. You want to say something on that, Dee?
I just know that God takes you places where you never thought. He gives you vision that you didn't have. And so that's what we're learning. We're learning literally what it means to walk by faith. And so the mentorship program for the boys, sister to sister, for the girls, it's about really building big people. And our ministry, while we focus on adults as well as youth, God has really given us a laser-like focus on young people.
Yeah.
Because we realize that our youth are in trouble.
Yeah.
And they need us.
Yeah.
And I believe that God has something great in store for them, and that's why He has placed this burden on our hearts.
Yeah.
And so we're just following His lead. You know, it's amazing. We're in the school, and I'm in the school all week.
Yeah.
And we're educators, we're
too.
administrators.
Teachers, yeah.
Wayne is a consultant. He works and supports principals. But it is a different experience being here on Sundays and really connecting with the young people in a ways that we're not able to do during the week as administrators and supporting the adults.
Yeah. So I'm full disclosure, man. And so I can't speak for anyone else. When you start a church, you envision this people and it just bubbling and growing into this mass movement, right, of people. And I got to give a shout out to Pastor Vernon, man, Pastor Ari Vernon. The Word Church really talked to us about don't look to build a big church.
Okay.
Build big people.
Yeah.
You know, build big people. And I also remember your dad, Michelle, Bishop Williams, and when I was sharing with him where we are, what we're going to do, he just grabbed me. Yeah. And he laid hands on me and goes, it's about the people. It's about the people. Love God and love people. I look at Bishop Williams, I look at Dr. Vernon, and these men and so many others just taught me that when you focus on the people and focus on what they need, you know, and pray to God to give you the strength, the ability, the intellect, the skill to meet those needs, then doors begin to open up, man. Pastor Vernon, in one of our recent conference calls, talked about mega, you know, and people talk about mega churches. You know, again, sometimes mega church, by definition, is a certain size in terms of people. Right. But then he says, you want to have mega people. Yeah. He always brings us back to the people. Yes. You know, vertical growth. Yeah. You know, more than horizontal growth. Right. You know, and that's what we do.
We sometimes talk about church health versus church growth.
Yeah.
A large church that's sick and just have not matured. And I see the time that you spend with your young people and also your older congregants in building them to be mentors as well.
Absolutely.
One thing I noticed from service today, definitely a team approach. Yes. And that's something that you don't always see in leadership. Sometimes some pastors and leaders feel burdened because they don't have folks around them who are willing to take up their part of the mantle or take up their part of the work. And you guys have built leaders, you guys have built mentors, and you've modeled it.
Yes, that's the goal. And so when we talk about equipping, encouraging, empowering, that's for the purpose of mobilizing.
That's right.
And so that's why we ask for people to join as not members but team members.
Yeah, we don't call it membership.
We don't call it membership. We call it team member, which means that you are part of the team. Right. So as you're equipped, as you're encouraged, as you're empowered, it is to do something. Yeah. So everyone must do something.
You know, even members, you're talking about membership. Members can sometimes have a sense of entitlement, but don't want to take the responsibility. That's right. But you've empowered them to not only belong, but also to take onus and take responsibility and to get their hands in there.
That's important. So because again, it's not my show. It's not Wayne's show.
Exactly.
Right? You know, so as much as I want it to be sometimes, but just seriously though, it's about again empowering people to find where they are. You know, in God. I think that's one of my primary roles as pastor, is to help individuals identify their call, where they are in God, where they are in defining their purpose, and just walking with it.
Yes. And doing the simple things that God lay on your heart.
Yeah.
And so that's why we do encourage individuals. If God lays something on your heart, one young lady says, you know, I want to do something for the women's shelter.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, or I want to bring all the young men here to do this.
Let's do it.
It's aligned with the purpose of the ministry, do it. We want people to initiate,
right?
You know, to take ownership of the work, because we're not just building and advancing a church. We're advancing the kingdom of God. You know, and so we want to encourage everyone to have a kingdom perspective, not a church perspective.
That's good. So you release people to allow God to use them by giving, when God gives them that passion and that desire, you're not going to stifle it. We have to look over a 50-page proposal and then try and decide whether or not we're going to do it.
No, not at all. I mean, we respect structure and protocol, because that's required. That's how God functions as well.
You need it.
You know, but you're right. We're not going to go through a board meeting to decide to take the kids on a trip.
Right.
You know, we're not going to go through a conference or any kind of lengthy dialogue to decide to feed some women in a shelter.
We're going to push people to work and to do what God lays on their heart, because I believe God really gives people the desire.
Of course.
And they just need an opportunity. They need a coach, a supporter to say, go ahead, we're with you. It is aligned with what God is doing, reaching people in different ways. There's some things that we won't be able to do.
And we can't do.
And we may not be as passionate about that thing as they are. And so that's why they're here. And so as God saves them and really fills them and through the word we help to equip them and empower them, it's really to do the work that God lays on.
And that's where the name came from, really. It's like, why not me? And why not now? You know, we tend to be talkers a lot, and so we talk about what we would like to do. We talk about what we hope to do. We talk about what we see someone else doing. You know, and it's like, well, why not you so? Why don't you do that?
That's right.
And then once we challenge them with that, now then we get the, I'm going to pray about it. Nothing wrong with that. You know, nothing wrong with that, man. But I think sometimes we use that, I'm going to pray about it, as an excuse for our fear.
You already know, but you're putting that in front of you.
I remember Pastor A.R. Bernard, man, one of the most amazing teachers. He talked about in this country where they're just starving, you know, and they're praying to God for food to help them with their starvation, but they worship cows. And so you're praying to God for food,
and He's provided it,
and your meal is passing every day. You know, so he also says that God doesn't put things in your hand; He put them in your reach. And so I believe that as well. And so back to the why not me, why not now, it comes, there comes a time when you gotta let's go now, I'm gonna do it.
And that's our mantra, we're going.
We're going.
You know, God, we don't know exactly where you're leading, but we're following, and we're learning to be obedient, and we're learning to trust you, to trust your word. I mean, if nothing else we've learned, we have learned to trust the Lord. You know, and when I say He's a provider, He is a provider. I now know what that actually
experience again. Experience,
He's a provider.
Gnosis, experiential knowledge. That's the preacher talk.
You don't ever really experience it until you step out of the boat.
That's right. That's right.
I think for years we've been taught to stay in the boat, and what Jesus did with Peter was a lesson to the other disciples, and it was also a lesson to the church. That unless we step out on His word, don't just step out just because you want to jump out. But step out because God said, come.
You know, it's funny when you mention that, right? Well, I keep shouting people out. Because I like to talk how this is not just Wayne's journey. I've been blessed with so many people. Another one of my mentors, Pastor Clinton Rudder. When I was just about ready to launch this ministry, we had lunch together. He came up from Florida, and we were just chatting. And he goes, you know, when you've been talking about this thing for a while, he got to throw it back in my face. He got to throw it back, why not now, in my face. And he goes, well, listen, there has to come a time when you have to make a move. And he goes, here's what I believe. It kind of blew my mind because I wasn't taught that way. He says that step out. God honors your faith move, even if it's the wrong move.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was like, what?
Wow.
He goes, because God honors your faith. It's sincere.
In Him.
You know what I'm saying? You're sincere and you're trusting God. This is what I want God to do in my life. And it may not even be the right move. I mean, it took me a while to kind of absorb it, but I said, okay. He goes, I believe that God honors your faith in Him.
Yes.
And that was like the last thing for me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, meeting with Pastor Vernon, he was like, oh, let's bust a move. Meeting with Pastor Rudder, and he said that, I'm like, okay, we got to go.
Sometimes you're afraid of failure.
True.
You know, and you say, oh my gosh, and it looks so daunting.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God, it's a new territory. You know, I've never been in this position. What do I do? How do I? But, you know, God has a way of just making things work out.
Oh, man.
You know?
It's just so encouraging and so inspiring to be able to talk with the two of you. And your ministry is not just here, you're also doing some stuff online. Tell us a little bit how people can engage with your ministry online as well.
Absolutely. Well, we have on Monday nights. You know, Monday 12:15 in the afternoon. And in the afternoon we have prayer, and at 9 o'clock we have prayer again. So we make it very easy.
Yes.
Because we understand the world that we live in. It is a time when technology has made things very accessible, and so we don't want to give people an excuse for not.
Well, I can't come to the prayer meeting. I can't come and pray.
No problem. Just call the number. Just call in. And it has been such a blessing. People from all over calling. And the needs that we're addressing. 12:15 in the afternoon, those who are at work and just need a word. 9 o'clock at night. And then what we started, and it was about 4 years ago, we started a Bible talk. And it was through teleconference. And so now with Facebook Live, you know, so many people are joining from Jamaica, from Pennsylvania, from Georgia. They're joining in and they're getting the word. And that's what we are responsible for doing, for really using what God has provided to just teach and to preach the message. We're a teaching ministry because we're educators.
We're educators.
Right? So that's what we do. We teach.
It's a big classroom.
But
no one gets attention though. You don't get kicked out of class.
And we don't get kicked out.
And you can't fail. It's an open book test.
That's right.
Facts.
That's right.
So that's what we're doing. We're teaching the word.
I love it.
And so we just thank God for the opportunity.
Yeah, man.
You know, so our mantra is that we stay low.
Stay low.
We stay low and allow God to do His thing and get His glory.
Amen. God's going to get the glory out of it. Because you're doing His work, you're building lives that He has invested right here. And I just really appreciate the both of you.
We appreciate you, man.
Yes,
I'm sure our viewers also appreciate you taking the time.
Download our app.
Yes.
iTunes Store or Google Play for the Android people. I'm not mad at you. But download the Why Not Now app and join the movement, man. Be a part of what we're doing.
Awesome, guys. We're going to be posting some links right below so that you can check those out. Please go to the website, visit the App Store, get your downloads, be a part of this movement. It's not just a stationary ministry. It is a movement. You should see the kids being blessed and being ministered to, being mentored. This is what it's all about.
It's kind of crazy when people, you know, I know you're going to close, but so our church, we average like 35, 40 a Sunday in terms of attendance. And more than half, I'm going to say about 80%, are either high school or college age.
That's dope.
It's crazy, man. And it's like we're teaching people how to grow in Christ.
Yes.
Amen.
You know,
and God is growing. Growing us. And He has to grow us. Before He grows what we're doing.
And
I realize that it's a process. You know, but God is good all the time.
Amen. Well, this won't be the first and last conversation with Pastor Wayne and Pastor Deon. We'll have more conversations with them, but please continue to tune in, share this. Tag your friends, tag people. If you know people in the area, we're in the Brooklyn area, if they're looking for a ministry, something refreshing that they can be a part of, please visit Why Not Me, Why Not Now. Where's the address?
We are at IS 285, that's Mile 11 School, that's Beverly and Ralph Avenue. So for the Brooklynites, that's down the block from South Shore High School, around the corner from Tilden High School. So we're Canarsie, East Flatbush area, can't miss it. IS 285, Mile 11, corner of Ralph and Beverly. Enter on Ralph Avenue, so
That's
not
right.
Beverly roadside,
Right.
And God bless you. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
God bless you, folks. Thanks for another episode of Conversation with Seven.
Peace.
Conversations with Selwyn.